Alright, what is up YouTube? Today I'm kind of at a standstill, on the fence sort of deal with what I should do with some players. Obviously, you know, J.R. Smith, the last video was about not trading J.R. Smith. At the time I didn't realize, and I don't think he was as mad, but I didn't realize that he was mad. Unfortunately though, he is kind of angry. He wants me to give him a better role. Minutes as well, but he's getting a decent amount of minutes. He's getting about 19 minutes a game, so I can't really do anything about that. You know, I don't want to sit here and give him a starting role because I want to see Amon Shumpert grow, and Amon Shumpert's already better. So I just think it's fair that I put Amon Shumpert at the starting role and keep J.R. Smith at the backup role. But obviously, he's not working out, so he's got to be traded. Another guy who's not working out at all is Kenny Martin. Very angry. He wants to be traded. So that's another guy who I got to trade right at this trade deadline. Don't really have any time to think about anything. Another guy who's not really working out is Kendrick Perkins. Now, he's not that mad, but his numbers. He's playing 17 minutes a game. He's getting 5 rebounds in 1 point. Are you joking? Come on. That's a little bit sad. He's not doing a whole lot. I expected him to do a lot better when I got him. I guess his rebound numbers aren't really that great anyways, but I would have expected more from him. You know, his blocks per game is decent. He's not doing a bad job on defense, but I would like to see more than just, you know, defense. I don't pay him sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. I don't pay him $8 million a year to sit around and just get 1 block game and a couple rebounds. That's not what I pay him, and I'm not going to pay him next year for that either. If he had an expiring contract, I might think about just keeping him and let him ride out the season, but he doesn't have an expiring contract. So those are 3 guys that have to go. If you were in this situation, comment what you would do, but I'm almost positive that they're going to lowball me like they're doing right now, and they're going to try and give me somebody who's not really that good. Tyson Chandler, he hasn't really been working out. I need to admit that. Taj Gibson, he's a good backup. So maybe I could, you know, throw in JR, Tyson Chandler, get Joakim Noah back as a starting center, and use Taj Gibson as the backup in place of Jason Maxiell and Kenny Martin and Kendrick Perkins. This would work to an extent, but I don't really like Spencer Hawes overall. I mean, he's not really overpaid, but he has an expiring contract, and to be honest, he's probably going to want to come back and get more money. So I'm not sure if I want him just for that reason. He's not really a phenomenal player, and I don't know if he's going to expect to come in as a starter. I like the first-round pick aspect of it, but Brandon Bass doesn't do a whole lot for me. J.J. Redick, he's just another guard. Probably going to be in the same scenario. Going to be mad that he's a backup. Courtney Lee, maybe same thing, but he's not even as good as JR, so it's kind of just swapping one good shooting guard for one bad shooting guard. I like this to an extent. I don't want to give up this first-round pick, even if it is, kind of a bad first-round pick. It's not really going to be a great first-round pick. I still don't want to give it up, even though Lewis Williams might understand his role more than J.R. Smith's role. I had him when I was in the Kings. And Lewis Williams understood his role as a backup. He really didn't have a big problem with it. So that could work out. I'll see my other offers. Ray Allen's just a little bit too old. Enes Kanter, he's just a growing player, and I don't really think he's going to grow into a whole bunch of anything. Old player, overpaid. Marshawn Brooks and Jordan Hill. Jordan Hill has an expiring contract, and same with Marshawn Brooks. No, I'm not going to just give up JR for a pick. Samuel Dalbert, once again, expiring contract, but, not even great anyways. Joe Johnson, overpaid by a ton. I already went over this in the very first episode with Amari Stoudemire. And giving up Tyson Chandler to get that, that's, as well, kind of a ripoff. J.J. Hickson, very solid player, so this could work out. I like this to an extent. Maybe not as much as the Joakim Noah trade, but J.J. Hickson is a very good player. So this might work. It really might work. No, that's not really that great. That's not good either. That's not really that good. Omer Sheik. See, this is the problem with Omer Sheik and as well Jeremy Lin. They both have, decently sized contracts right now for their salary, $5 million a year. But then they get $15 million in 2015, or 2014-15. So that's not something I want to, be paying anybody. That's a lot of money. I think Joe Green could come in and be a solid role player, but I kind of want more than that. I want somebody who's going to take up and, just take this team to the next level. Kevin Martin, he's another guy who's probably going to come in and not want to be a backup. And, that doesn't do a bunch for me either. I think the best trade is this trade right here. I didn't say it, but Tyson Chandler, he hasn't been doing that well either. He's kind of been on the down. He doesn't have that many points per game. He's rebounding all right, but he's just low. He's not doing great like I'd like him to. Joakim Noah, I think, could help out the team more for a longer period of time and for cheaper. So that is kind of a win-win-win there. And then plus I'm getting Taj Gibson in return, and I could substitute him, who's already a backup player on the Bulls, and I could substitute him in place of Kenny Martin or Kendrick Perkins or somebody. I think that would work out overall. He is a little bit overpaid, but sometimes you need to overpay players in order to get players that fit their role and that understand their role. I like a lot of these other trades. I like this trade, but I'm thinking about this year. I'm not really thinking about the future. So as it pertains to this year, I think this trade would help us out the absolute most. Unfortunately, we are getting rid of Tyson Chandler, but sometimes you got to do things that aren't really great. Tyson Chandler is having an off year, like I said, and if he wasn't having an off year, I might think about this. But as you can see there, he's playing 30 minutes a game. He's getting 10 boards and he's getting 3 points. That's not really anything you want to brag about. So his defensive numbers are just average as well. 1 block. I would expect that from a center who's playing 30 minutes a game. If you don't get 1 block as a center who's playing 30 minutes a game, then I'm going to be taking you out. And the steals numbers, they're down. He's just on his decrease, on his decline. He's not really doing much of anything. Joakim Noah, I did not have a look at his numbers, but his numbers are up more. He has more of everything, to be honest. More blocks, more steals, assists, rebounds, and actually less rebounds, just by a little bit, and more points. So that, I think, works out overall better for this team. As well as Taj Gibson, who is a pretty good player as a backup. So, I'm going to go through with this trade. And personally, I think that's a great trade. Getting rid of a disgruntled player and another player who's not really fitting in. And but Joakim Noah, we're getting him returned, and he's the highlight of that deal. I see him sliding in. Congestion. I see him sliding as a good starter. I don't want to say a team leader because he's not going to totally lead the team. He might lead it on defense, but that'd probably be about it. Next couple trades up. Obviously, we have Kenny Martin. I would just say Kenny Martin would be the big guy to go. But I also kind of want to trade Kendrick Perkins. So we'll look to see what we can get for Kenny Martin. Hopefully we can get something good. Maybe a first-round pick. I doubt that, though. I think the only guy who people were willing to give up a first-round pick for was going to be JR. I'm not seeing anybody who's any good. Just a ton of players who have expiring contracts. But obviously, Kenny Martin has an expiring contract as well, so I'm looking for a player who's going to come in and provide without having to give up a first-round pick. I do not want to have to give up that first-round pick. They both have expiring contracts, which I like. Allen Anderson is a pretty solid player, or more solid at least than half the other players who have been offered. This gives us a pick. Even if it's for next year, it gives us a pick. I like that aspect of it. Kenny Martin's not doing a whole lot for this team. He's not really slotted in to do a whole lot. So if we can get anything, really, that'd be nice. I like this trade the most, to be honest, right here. I know, obviously, Patty Mills isn't that great. I also like this trade a little bit, but I don't love it because he is worse. Patty Mills is a solid player, and he could be a point guard in place of Pablo Prioni. He can take over that role, and I can maybe trade Pablo Prioni. I think that would work out great because obviously Pablo Prioni is an old player. Ronnie Turiaf, a phenomenal defensive specialist. That would honestly be a trade that I'd be willing to go through with. And then Al Harrington, a pretty solid player. But once again, nothing to brag about. I don't know if he's going to expect to get a lot of minutes, and he's not going to get a lot of minutes on my team. I think the best player would be Ronnie Turiaf. Although I like Patty Mills, I think I can get Patty Mills for somebody else, maybe Kenny Perkins or something like that. I think Ronnie Turiaf is honestly going to be the best option here. Just because, if I wasn't going to get rid of Kendrick Perkins, then I might not do this. But I plan on getting rid of Kendrick Perkins. So if I plan on getting rid of two big men, getting one big man in return is always a great thing to have. So I personally think that is a pretty solid, I wouldn't say great.